Okay, for our next movement, we're going to talk about the pull-up. The pull-up is a movement that's really going to help focus on setting our scaps, and it's going to be a really good practice for like our bench press, setting our scaps for overhead press. It's a really useful movement, and sometimes you'll even see this section here as a pairing for the bench press to really make sure athletes are focusing on how to set their scaps. Okay, so what I'll first talk about is our grip. There's different grips you'll see people use. Okay, so we have, I would say the easiest as our chin up grip right here. So our supinated grip right here. We can see that one is probably our easiest progression. Our next easiest is our neutral grip, or our hands are just straight forward. Our harder grip is going to be a regular pull-up, and then harder than that is our wide grip. Okay, so you can think of it as 4 different grips. Most of the time we have our athletes do neutral grips, and as far as their placement when it comes to the regular pull-up or the wide grip, it's up to them. If a coach tells them they want to go wider, it's really a challenge having to work through a different range of motion, create a different kind of lever arm. Okay, so I'm going to demo today with a neutral grip, and after we figure out what grip we're using and what we're going to try and make the athlete use or ask the athlete to use, we're going to then go to our scap shrug. So we're going to be hanging from the bar. Okay, our first movement we're going to do from here, so I'm at a dead hang. First thing I'm going to do is shrug. So you think a lot of time shrug is this, but you can also shrug down, right? So with our weight being pulled up, our scaps are pulled up, we're going to reverse that shrug down. So we're going to decompress our scapula. So from here, shrug, and then you can go to your first pull, and then reset. So think of it as a 4-part movement. You shrug, you pull with the big chest, you reverse the big pull, reverse the shrug. So it's a 4-part movement because that's going to hit different muscles. For instance, that shrug is really trying to focus on our lower traps to really pull that scapula down. Then our regular pull-up is going to be really focusing on squeezing our lats, our rhomboids, our mid-traps, all those muscles to pull ourselves down, even our bicep, to pull ourselves up there. Okay, so first we get our grip, scap shrug, we pull ourselves up with a big chest, and then from there we control ourselves back down, always a controlled movement, and then we just keep going. With a pull-up, I also want to point out it's really important, so I'll face you out on this one, that you keep your core engaged. So if I'm doing this and I don't engage my core correctly, I'm going to be extended through my low back. I want to keep my core engaged. I'll actually cross my legs a lot of the time and keep my core engaged. Pull, pull. Okay, now some regressions, because not everyone's going to be able to do a pull-up right away. It's something that you can work yourself up to. So some ways you can regress the movement is you can utilize a band. Now there's 2 ways that you can put a band on. One, you can put it up here, so the athlete can do their pull-up with some assistance from the band. So one person or the athlete themselves can pull the band down, put their foot on it. From there, grab their grip. Now what's really important with the band like it is here, if I let that band get in front of me, it's going to go straight forward. So I have to keep that band straight under me. So I'll keep my leg extended, I'll pull, and reverse the movement. Okay? There's another way you can also do this, and that's using the J-hooks. Okay? You can set the J-hooks to a certain height to set the band. So I'll put it along the tongue of the J-hooks. I'll step onto it. From there, I'm going to have to get up there by myself at the top. So at the top, I'm gonna have my full weight because I'm gonna have no band tension. And then at the bottom, I'm gonna have band tension. So it's easy, harder, pull my body weight. And I can reverse that. Ouch. Okay? So, those are a couple of progressions. You can use different types of bands, resistances for that. You can also progress that by using something like this over here, where you can put a weight on. You can have someone grab one of these guys, where they'll put this around their waist. They'll throw a plate or a dumbbell or a kettlebell on here. They'll place it in here, and they can do their pull-ups that way. That's for when athletes have really progressed to the point where they're no longer having issues with their shoulders rolling forward at the top of their pull-ups. They're able to keep their chest nice and big, really focusing on their back muscles compared to coming up, They're coming up and they're going here. You'll see it a lot where your traps start to take over and try and take some of that load. Our upper traps, we want our lower traps to be working to get this set. So the biggest thing with a pull-up is that scapular movement, very similar to what we're training for a bench press, for an overhead press, keeping them set as we go through our range of motion for any of those.